My name is Kim Anderson, and I am on staff at Bayside Community Church in Bradenton. And we actually have been at Bayside for 16 years, but I've been on staff for the last 8 years.
My name is Alex Anderson. I'm the Chief Financial Officer and one of the 2 Senior Associate Pastors.
I'd been given the book last year, tried to read it, for some reason had not been able to really connect with the material until this weekend. And Alex and I both have been to many freedom type experiences, so I wasn't expecting this to be a freedom type of experience. I have so many tools in my tool belt that I did not have before. I think too, when she talks about your conviction, that I remember in January, I felt like God gave me 2 words, but I didn't know how to implement that in my life. And the 2 words were to live boldly and courageously. And so through the series of sessions, she really just unpacked what that would look like in such simplistic way that I feel like I'm more empowered to live the way God created me to live and understand it in a way that I've never it's a revelation. It's been a revelation and a transformation. And she said it's going to be hard work and we have to walk it out, but we have tools to walk it out.
I think for me, the thing that really stood out was the fact that we can have limiting beliefs and be living out of those for decades, and they serve us well. They take care of us, they put food on the table, they give us friends, they help us love God, they do all kinds of things, but they're just that, they're limiting beliefs. They're not unlimited. And so as she began to unfold the processes and steps, Julia showed us very clearly how to move from living in a limited belief, which is very tiring, by the way, and very draining, to, okay, now let's start to take steps to live in an unlimited belief or an unlimited vision for your life. We don't know what we don't know. And so Julia's kind of like a detective. She comes in and pokes around in places that you probably don't want her poking around. And if you're gonna hide a lot of things and not be transparent, then don't ask her to come. But if you're sincere about doing something in freedom, instead of out of a limited belief that's tiring and draining, then this is what you want. You want her to come in, you want her to sit down with your staff. She's always honoring, respectful, loving, and kind, and she'll never do anything but be led of the Holy Spirit. But He's the one who pokes around and opens doors in your closets. And I'm telling you, when you're done, you're probably going to go back to your office and sit down and think, you know, let's do some things differently now. Let's do some things that are more energizing and fulfilling instead of draining. Yep, they get things done, but they're not as exciting, they're not as fun. For me, one of the things that changed, that I've changed, is now I'm on an adventure with my Father in heaven, as opposed to living out a limited belief that the world is crazy, there's crazy people, and I might die any day, and who knows what's going to happen. That's wrong. You know, that'll cause you to save a lot of money and do a lot of smart things, but live a very drained life, right? But living in this adventure with my Father is a whole nother thing. So who knows, maybe in the future you'll get an update with that. But listen, you really need to have Julia to come. I mean, to come, because she'll change, she'll give you things to think about you've never thought about before. And so good. Yeah. Do yourself and your staff a favor, and especially your spouse.
We're on this new journey. Even though I don't think we're in our last season, but we definitely are. We are in our last season actually. And there's so much excitement, and I feel like there's so much freedom. It's a journey, it's not a destination, and we certainly have not ever said that we've arrived. And this weekend has helped us see why we haven't fully arrived and why we're not living the way God really ordained us to live. I think that Jeremiah 30, Julia, Jeremiah 29 about our plan, you unpacked the plan. We knew we had it from the beginning, but Julia is the one who said, this is how God created you, and this is why you haven't walked in that creation. But rest assured, you do have a plan and a purpose for your life, and let me share with you how to walk this out. And I believe that it's not only going to impact our ministries, but it's going to impact our marriage. It's going to impact our children, who are all learning what this looks like for themselves. And I feel like that, like someone said, and it may have been Julia that said, our ceiling will be our kids' floor, that they'll begin.
I think for me also is that, Julia, you earned this.
Yeah.
You went through 7 to 8 years
Yes.
of living this truth out, fighting tooth and nail, not knowing if it was going to work,
Yeah.
because you stayed in the fight, because you held onto your daddy's hand.
Yes.
You walked out of the end of this. I know you're still fighting, but now you have battle scars and you have victory stars. You have the ability to say, listen, this really does work
Yeah.
if you'll only give me a chance. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just love you. Can't wait to see you again.
Yeah.